Coming up in this video...
Travelling abroad really stresses me out.
I'll be putting my favourite travel hack to the test at the Crowne Plaza to see if it's up to the job of eliminating pre-travel stress. Or whether it's more likely to make you wish you'd stayed at home. Oh, that carpet just makes me want to cry. I'll show you the room, the bar, the executive lounge, as well as explaining the two key components crucial for turning a stay at an airport hotel into frictionless travel.
First impressions of this place? Welcome to Quite Genius. So the hack is simple. Stay at an airport hotel the night before you travel to create a frictionless experience. It's about having that buffer between all of the stress that you've already had sorting passports and currency and packing to ultimately ensure that you get to your destination as relaxed as possible. But for me, it's also about getting rid of all the what-ifs. Will I miss my flight? What if I break down? What if the car breaks down? Will I be able to find a parking space? All of that stress. Travelling abroad really stresses me out.
It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world.
So for this hack to work properly and to stop me catastrophizing, the first essential is a hotel with its own on-site parking to make this as stress-free as possible. Many airport hotels have it and will also offer parking packages with the room rate. The Crowne Plaza does that, so we're off to a good start.
So just arriving at the airport now, and apparently to find the Crowne Plaza you follow the signs for Terminal 3. I am using a sat-nav, I usually muck up, but let's see if I can find it. Oh, it's there. That was easy enough.
Decline. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it. It's the end of the world as we know it.
So with the car parking sorted, it's time to relax, and no matter which hotel you choose, it's at this point that you should start to feel your stress levels coming down. There is another essential part to this hack that I'll tell you about in a few minutes, but for now it's down to the Crowne Plaza to help me reach that zen-like state. What could possibly go wrong? Wow, these lifts look a bit depressing. I'm not quite sure whether they're going to take me to my hotel room or take me to oblivion.
Doors opening.
That's a bold choice.
Oh, that carpet just makes me want to cry. My only hope is that it's not repeated inside my room. I'm staying in a premium king room, by the way.
So I've just come from check-in now, and I've got to say that that was probably the nicest check-in experience that I've ever had at any hotel. And I think it's probably fair to say that if you're staying in an airport hotel, then the chances are you're only going to be here for one of a few reasons. You're either here on business, you are going on holiday the next day, or you're having an affair. But whatever, I think that the main consideration for an airport hotel is that it's going to be clean and functional. First impressions of this place? Yeah, interesting. The carpet outside in the hallway, I could not believe it when the lift doors open and I was greeted by that. It looked like something from The Shining. Wow. It didn't exactly do much to reduce my stress. First impressions walking into the room, well, yeah, let's take a look around. The first little room that you're going to see on the left hand side is going to be the bathroom, and yeah, I've got to take a step back because I need to get it all in shot. It's not exactly big by any means. They have some complimentary toiletries. But the first thing that struck me is, and I'm having to step out again just so I can get this in shot, is the fact that it's not a walk-in shower. And that's really disappointing. Stepping outside of the bathroom, that directly opposite, apart from being me, though, is, I think it's going to be a cupboard. Let's just have a look. And it is, and again I'm having to step back. I'm actually standing in the bathroom now just so I can get this in shot. So yeah, you've got a cupboard there with a couple of pillows and a bathrobe. It just looks quite cluttered. So just on the right hand side there, you've got some tea and coffee making facilities. I'm kind of glad I don't really do tea or coffee because I just wouldn't from there. And it's not because it looks unclean as such, but there's just something about this room that just feels off, and I can't really put my finger on it. Oh good, I was wondering where the automatic refreshment centre was. Well, it's going to be right here, or as I like to call it, a fridge. So yeah, this room is definitely giving off a 90s motel vibe, and I've got to be honest, the first thing that I wanted to do when I walked into the room was open the window, and that wasn't because it smells, by the way, it absolutely doesn't, it just felt stuffy. It's not like walking into a hotel room, it's more like walking into a stranger's bedroom, and that just feels a bit creepy. So the good thing is they do have sockets on either side of the bed, and I think, oh it is, it's actually a USB-C port. That makes a refreshing change. You shouldn't have an issue charging whatever devices that you bring. So yeah, that's about it for this room. Apart from the bed, not quite sure how comfortable it is, but I guess because I'm here on my own, I think it deserves an Instagram-style influencer bed flop. Well, this is awkward. So it turns out that the room that I stayed in had actually been refurbished as part of an £8 million makeover not that long before I actually stayed. Okay. So another key component to make this hack work is whether or not the hotel's actually got a decent bar and restaurant, somewhere that you can actually come, chill out, have something to eat, a couple of drinks, and basically unwind. So yeah, let's see whether the Crowne Plaza does the job on that. Cheers.
So the menu looks okay, and you can order directly from your table just by scanning the QR code. Now I'm a big advocate of remaining healthy whenever I travel, so I'm just going to go for the pizza and chips.
That was quick service and the food looks pretty decent. Pretty decent? Yeah, it really wasn't. In fact, what's that material that's really tough that stops bullets? Kevlar. That's it. I shouldn't be comparing a pepperoni pizza to Kevlar. Yeah, here we are.
So aside from the bar, if you book a club room, you also get the lounge access. Now I thought this lounge was a lot nicer than others that I've seen, although because of my schedule I didn't really have the time to make the most of it, including the breakfast. For a couple of hours in the evening they serve canapes as well as complimentary beer and wine, and you can always help yourself to soft drinks, tea, coffee, biscuits and the like whenever. If, like me, you're a world-class athlete, you'll be relieved to know there's a gym to help you unwind. However, I was devastated not to be able to pay it a visit due to a sprained earlobe. The next essential part to this hack is being able to easily get from your hotel to the terminal, so you'll need to choose your airport hotel wisely. The Crowne Plaza provides an excellent service for this that runs 24 hours a day, and unless you've got lots of bags, then terminals 1 and 3 are just a few minutes walk away, so you may not even need to bother. However, terminal 2 is around 15 minutes walk. That's where I was flying from, so I used the service, and it only cost £3.95. There's no need to book as it operates on a constant 20-minute loop of all terminals, and you pay the driver with either cash or card. They couldn't really have made it any easier.
So the hack does actually work, it's just that you need to be a little bit careful about which airport hotel you actually choose. Now I paid £208 to spend the night at the Crowne Plaza, and that actually included the lounge access, which itself included the continental breakfast, but crucially it also included the cost of the parking for 4 nights as well, so £208 really was a bargain. But the whole point of the hack is that a stay at an airport hotel is supposed to reduce your stress levels the day before you travel, and unfortunately the Crowne Plaza didn't exactly do that. So I really do hope that you've enjoyed that video and found it useful, and if you have, please consider subscribing to the channel. There's lots of people that keep coming back to watch my videos and seemingly enjoy them, but not a great many actually subscribe, and it's that really will help grow the channel, so if you could do that, I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see a much better airport hotel, then you can check out this video right here. In the meantime though, thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.